Hey guys, welcome back. Told you last time about the egg-eating chicken. I don't think it's intentional. I think what's happening is eggs are getting walked on, crushed, and then eaten. But anyway, I think this will fix that. So I mentioned that I was going to try building one of these, and I feel like I've succeeded. The true test will be when I put it in the coop and see how it actually plays out here. But I want to walk you through it because what I did is I basically went online and stole the best of what I thought were good ideas for how to build one of these roll-out nesting boxes. So I got my little sketch here that I made just so I could remember what I did here. So guys, basically Cindy's got some clips of the actual work being done, but I'm gonna walk you through the dimensions of this box. It holds 6 nests. I went with the paint pan or rolling pan for the inside of the boxes to get the slope. I fastened on 1 fake egg in each nest box. Part of that is every year we hatch chickens and we get new hens. So I want to make sure they have a way to learn aside from the other chickens. So these sit nicely inside each one of these cavities. Basically, I just made the cavity big enough to fit 1 chicken comfortably, okay? I think part of the problem is with the old boxes I made, 2 birds can get in there, shoving and pushing and stepping on eggs, causing havoc. And my hope is with the smaller boxes, it's big enough for 1 bird comfortably, but hopefully less chance of them trying to crowd each other in there. So, okay, so basically this is a 6, as I mentioned, 6 nests. The overall length, guys, I went with 75 inches. So the back is 75 inches long, 18 inches high, and the front slopes to 15. Okay, so when I'm cutting these angled dividers, I'm going 18 inches at the back, 15 inches at the front. The ones in between are 12 inches, okay? This one down here on these ends is 18 inches front to back because that's what the base of this box is. The reason it's so wide is I had to have room for the actual rollout part of the cages, okay, or the nesting boxes. So, okay, so we got 18 high, 15 at the front, 12 in between, 12 inches front to back, and then I have 3 inches here at the front. What that does, that allows me to put another piece of, this is just a 1/2 inch plywood, guys. So I nailed in or screwed on little pieces where the hinges go to make it an overall 1 inch thick. So it's 3 inches there, and that basically covers the thickness of these paint trays. Okay, so now this flap door here is 6 inches front to back. All this, like I said, is 75 inches long. Okay, so we've got 18 inches at 75 inches long, 18 inches for the base at 75 inches long, and then 6 inches by 75 inches long for the lid, 3 inches by 75 inches long for the front, and the dividers are 1 foot deep, 18 at the back, 15 at the front. Okay. So what else have I done here? Oh, the top, again, 75 inches long, 12.5 deep, wide. And that basically is because, yeah, these dividers are 12 inches, but because of the slope, I had a 1/2 inch just to make sure I have it covered all the way. All right. I guess the thing nowadays, people are starting to use curtains. They say that the chickens like the privacy or they feel more comfortable or whatever the case. So, okay, I thought I'd give it a try. So I used feed bags. I wasn't going to try to sew curtains up or anything like that. So what I did is I took feed bags, cut them to size. Got a little gap in here because I want the chicken to know it can come in and out. And I took a little flame and I melted the edge of these bags so they don't keep fraying and shredding as it goes, okay? All right, so if you look inside each of these boxes, the paint trays weren't quite deep enough to get what I felt was a comfortable size for the chicken. So the tray stops here, and at the very back, the last couple inches, I just put a sloped piece of plywood, just allow the bird more room to move around and still lay on the tray itself, okay? So I have to prove this out still. I haven't put any kind of padding in there or anything like that yet, because I don't want to stop the eggs from rolling. Of course, I don't want them to roll so fast that they break when they hit inside the catch part of the tray. My hope is that with these paint trays having that grid formation, that it's almost going to be like a plinko. It's going to slow it down on its way down. I have actually tried a raw egg and let it roll out into the tray, and it didn't seem to be an issue. So my only concern is whether or not the next one coming down is going to be the one that actually break the egg. But I'm gonna leave it as it is until I see what happens. Overall, I believe this, we're talking Canadian dollars, guys. So if you're in the US watching, the prices may vary a little bit. But I want to say this cost approximately $120 to build. Each of these paint trays was like $7. The plywood, I think it was like $55 plus tax. So it took, well, 1.5 sheets of plywood is what I used. Each of these hinges was a couple bucks. So overall, it added up to a bit. But I mean, when I look online, even to get a 3-bay nesting box, I was looking at the lowest price I saw was about $160 to $170 as far as cost. So to get twice as many bays and for not even the amount of what I would have paid for 3, I wanted to try this. So if this works for me, and I'm pretty sure it will, I mean, it seems to be successful for most other people, so I don't see it being an issue. If this works, I'm going to build a couple more because I need at least this many more for the main coop, and then the other coop that we have for the older chickens that are still laying. I need probably at least 4 nesting boxes there as well, maybe 5. So my plan is to build some more of these, but I wanted to give you guys the rundown of what I've done because this is my first time doing it, and I thought I would just show you how I did it. And hopefully it inspires you to do one yourself. It's very easy, very, very basic. I just used a few screws. Most of this is put together with air stapler, so it didn't take that long. It took longer to cut than it did to put it together. So the only other thing I did add here, guys, was a little bit like a 1-inch strip on the underside of this lid, just so when it sat in here, when it just kind of gave it a more level base. Just because that paint tray that it's sitting on down below is about a 1/2 inch lower than the front. So I mean, your other option is instead of 3 inches for this front, you could cut it at 2.5, but I wanted to have a bit of that depth. It also gave the eggs a little more clearance to roll underneath, because I don't want them getting stuck. So there we have it. A roll it nest box. Hopefully this will solve my problem with the broken eggs and the chickens that are eating eggs. Like I said, I don't know if they're actually eating them to eat them, to break them to eat them, or if they're in the confusion on the nesting boxes, because there is quite a few birds out there, but we do have quite a few nesting boxes. But of course, it always seems like you can have 15, 20 boxes and they want to use 5. So my hope is that these will become the favorites with all this fancy curtains and all the special extras with this nest box. I'm hoping these become the favorites, because if that's the case, the eggs will hopefully roll down, get out of the way of the traffic, and we won't have as many issues. All right, guys, so thank you for checking this out. I hope it helps. And I look forward to seeing you next time here at Simple Acre Homestead. So don't forget, if you got something out of this video, give us a thumbs up, okay? And share with your friends if you think they might find this useful. If you like what we do, subscribe, follow along.